Hi, this is Bea from Sorcery Soap, and today I wanted to show you what I was going to do with these soaps. So you can see they're a little bit crooked. That's the way they sit. I poured them like this, so this is the bottom, and I wanted this to be the sun, and it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to turn out. And that's okay. I'm still going to move forward with it. So I can use it this way so that the bottom sets like here's the bottom, but then the sun's over here. So I'm going to flip them upside down, and I could plane it a little bit further, but here's the deal. I want to preserve the soap, and I don't care that it's wonky. Not all my bars look like this. Maybe I'll grab another one, but either way, we're going to move forward, and that's the point of this video, is just moving forward with your soap creations instead of getting hung up on the perfection of them. Remember, this is all handcrafted anyway. So the other thing I wanted to point out, if you could see the top of this, so one of the things that is happening right now in my area is that it's cold. And well, it's cold for a lot of places. However, what I want to say about that is that every year about January, February, I have a bunch of failed soaps. And what I realized, it's taken me all this time to realize it. I don't know if you can see all those spots in there. So it turned out soap. I made soap, which is a product that you clean your skin with that is relatively mild, not a detergent. Okay, so we're all on the same page. So I made soap. It didn't turn out the way I wanted it to, which is this. This is non-colored, by the way, so there's no titanium dioxide in it. It just happens to be, it happens to have, I don't know if those are stearic spots or just coconut oil or parts of my recipe that didn't get mixed in correctly. And I did mix this in, obviously, well, not obviously, but when this was supposed to be a gradient pour, and some of the yellow did gradiate a bit, but the orange clearly didn't, but it actually feels really smooth and soft. That doesn't feel smooth and soft as this. I planed it off, but this didn't feel smooth and soft. So what I realized from this was my oils were acceptable temperatures, but my lye water wasn't. My lye water was probably low 70s, I think. It was room temperature. And the issue with that for me, so maybe even colder than that. So what I see happening is that the cold shocked the oils, which means that it didn't keep it. It solidified parts of the butters and oils, the harder oils. Well, they're not oils actually; they're butters, but the fat. It solidified it before it could mix together in some capacity, because it's not fluid. It didn't pour even nicely. It looked like it started to rice, which means I probably got false trace in there. And because I was striving for a gradient pour, I kept mixing it as I was going. And so this is the one that this layer, which was the first layer, if you can see that, didn't get mixed as well. And okay, so this is more to the point. The lye creates heat, right? So even if it's cold, it'll eventually create heat, but it takes a mechanical device to do that, an agitation, let's put it that way, not a mechanical, but a mechanical device, which is our stick blender. And in large pots, they use huge mechanical devices. But even the agitation of the hand stirring, you can achieve the same goal, the same result. So this didn't get mixed enough. And this clearly is not colored with any. This is just the base color. And these started to get mixed more and more because, if you don't know what a gradient is, this is how I do it. I take the base color and then I pour to lighten it as I go. Well, this got a little confusing because I was doing the yellow and the orange, and anyway, it didn't work out the way I wanted it to, and I didn't actually plot it out as well as I probably should have. And the reason I'm taking so much time to explain this is because I think it's important, and had I known this piece of information, I would have been able to proceed differently for the last few years. So lye water, even though we do cold process, we need to create a form of heat in this, in the process of, and it'll always heat up. Lye, once it hits the oils, will create some form of heat. So what I found, the optimum temperature, so this does not happen when I soap in the 90s Fahrenheit. Even 80s is fine. Low 80s now is not fine, because even though the temperature reads low 80s, coconut oil is still solidified. Even though they call it 76 degrees, it doesn't matter. So, because the reality of it is that I can look into and see that it's not clear. My oils and my butters are not clear, which means there's some solid pieces in there. So if I put a lower temperature water lye solution in there, it will bring all the temperature down before it raises the temperature, which means that's the result. And so even though we have all these working theories, those are all great and well, but what I care about is the result of it. And to me, that's where it goes. I don't know. Anyway, we'll leave it at that. So, but today what we're going to do, so I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions at all, just please ask. I'll do my best to clarify it, because I'm trying to explain something that I see the results of, I see the actual product of, versus and dispel some ideas that we have about, or let's say I have, about how soap and cold process soap is supposed to work. And so anyway, so this is my bar of soap, and this is what we're going to do today. I'm going to use this mold, and I'm going to put things on top of here. So now that leads me to the other situation, which is I've observed quite a few people. Here's my soap dough. This is called Sugar and Spice. People asking the question of how to stick soap to soap. And so I thought I would share with you all how this works, because that's what I do. And even though this isn't from the book, I figured I've offered a lot of deviations from the book most recently. I thought, well, this is what's presented itself, so I thought maybe you guys would like some of this. So you can see, it's a little bit hard, but it's perfect for me. Okay, that's the way it is. And it's colder too, so, but this is really beautiful, creamy. Okay, so sticking soap dough to a this isn't fully cured, by the way. I made this on the 15th. I just planed it this morning, but I could stick stuff to a fully cured bar. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna use this. So sticking soap dough to a cured bar or a non-cured bar of soap works the same. Get this. I need to get a new brush. This brush keeps leaving little bristles. There. I think, let's try the little pot first. I don't know if my idea is going to work, but I'm going to keep moving forward with it. That is the whole point of this video, is to keep moving forward and to try and see. Unless, of course, your soap failed, which last year my soap failed quite a few times, which now I'm finally getting it. So I think I'm going to do this. There. I haven't laid this out. I'm just going on the fly. I can see a little. You know, you probably couldn't see that, but I can see it, and that's not okay to me, those little things there. Okay. Oops, I just squished it. Let's do that again. Why'd I do that?